Capricorn, hello and welcome to your love reading for the week of August 12th through the 19th. So some exciting changes are coming around because we have Saturn moving to 17 degrees in the sign of your third house, the sign of Pisces. And I pulled one from the Rose Oracle deck. I had to restart the video. I had a little glitch in the matrix, but your starting card was Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, and channel. You all have Taurus in your fifth house with Uranus there. It's allowing for you to up the value that you give to romanticizing your life. And when we love our daily life, it's a lot easier to attract love that is sustainable, that doesn't disintegrate and fall apart and have a really kind of tragic, messy ending because we're surrendered to the process. We're not trying to control the process. We're not trying to control everyone around us. Capricorn, and I feel like this is an important time for you to really stop to see what Spirit is having to tell you. You have 2 sevens with your fifth house. Ooh, oh my gosh, some fun energy. Your community is asking for you guys to come out and play. And if you don't yet have your favorite people, just trust that you might be harboring some fear of failure, some fears of things slipping out of your hands, but the moment that you let go is the moment where you actually can look up and realize all that you've accomplished. You don't have to worry about time getting away from you. You don't have to worry about feeling like all of your hopes were founded on delusion, because they aren't. And it feels like the more credence that you give your skills, your gifts and abilities, the more that a beloved partner will be able to reflect back to you. So starting the week out, we have on Sunday, we have Saturn moving to 17 degrees Pisces. And then we have Uranus at 27 degrees Taurus. It's really reminding us to take action based on how we feel and where we feel we belong with our society, with our world. So for my Capricorns who need to get out of a funk, get out of a rut, I want to get some guidance for you all. We have the star. So you have to carve out your North Star. You have to figure out what it is that you're going for in life. But I feel like it's going to be very much like on the tip of your tongue. All it'll take is a little bit of journaling. Get yourself a nice coffee, cold brew, whatever it is that you drink, matcha, herbal tea, and get to writing. Your ideas will be very potent at this time. And it feels like this channeling ability also will unlock a level of attraction within you. So if you're writing a book, you're writing a screenplay, you're writing poems, it's just going to have something else in your energy that's that extra sparkle. There is no competition. There's only recognition. We have the 2 of Swords. So I love that this being is balancing with 2 feathers, making an infinity symbol. That's very much your energy, Capricorn. This decision is an incision in consciousness. And I love that you even have 2 swords. You have the Page and the Ace of Swords. So you can either decide to have this crowning achievement, or you can make a gesture towards what it is that you'd like to do. This feels almost like applying for some sort of residency or art program, Capricorn. So I want to get a little bit of clarity from the Mother Kali Oracle. That decision is something that you're learning to balance, and you have a little stork buddy that's saying to take your time with it. Again, we don't have to rush anything at this time, namely due to Saturn being in Pisces. It's sort of like we're in the sea of timelessness, the sea of opportunity, and you all have in your 6th house Mars and Jupiter. So it's allowing for your days to feel a lot more expansive. Like you might find that you get so much more done because you have a lot of passion for your ideas. You have a lot of passion for what it is that you can create. And this might look like you have a lot of conversations with people. Maybe you're dating and you're going on a date and you can talk to this person for a really long time. We have Lalita Tripura Sundari. So maybe this will also lend some clarity from this Saturn at 18 degrees. I find that once we move away from the degree, it's like a landing, and then the ship can unfold and people can come out and exit it. Like think of a boat or something. And when people exit the boat, they can actually take a look and see where they've come to. If you're on a cruise, you get to see from the perspective of land, looking out onto the water. And it feels like maybe an idea from your emotional depths has landed with you, and maybe you're landing a contract or some sort of an agreement. But Mercury retrograde, let's take it slow. That's another reason to take it slow, because we are in Mercury retrograde and we don't want to get our wires crossed with anything that we're not meant to have any attachment to the outcome to. I find that during Mercury retrograde, do as much as you want to get the ball rolling with previously discarded projects, things that maybe you were really into as a kid and you never really gave a lot of credence to it. And you have all the pieces. They just are something that you never looked at in this way, in this regard. But anything new, anyone who you met during the shadow retrograde period, so that will have been from, likely the second week in July up to, really, we have Mercury entering shadow on September 11th. So we want to take our time with anyone who we've met this summer, basically. And, you know, unless if you were in touch before that, like maybe a few years have passed and they're back in your life, which is also a sign of Mercury retrograde, we're wrapping things up. I would say just take your time. Don't rush anything. Don't make hasty decisions. You know, don't deposit $8,000 into their bank account because you're feeling generous, Capricorn. We want to make sure that we're making decisions to further our heart's desire, the things that we are putting out into the world, not things that people can promise us, because we don't want to be investing in empty promises at this time. Okay, so that Saturn from Lalita Tripura Sundari, Pisces at 18 degrees, is white lilies blooming alone in the shade. I spoke to this in my height cast, but I want to go into it now for this reading. Get your journal out and let's affirm in the comments, I easily follow my heart and intuition. Gifted with deep and subtle qualities which are germinating in the subconscious and coming into their own. Transported into inner worlds in order to dream, imagine, and conceive from a pure place. Disengaged with phenomenal appearances, staying just apart. Much that goes on here stays under, percolates timelessly. A special karma to cultivate the mysteries, to be different, yet no issue. Deep down in there, creative forces work unceasingly and design alternatives for the world to partake in, if the world turns that way. This energy for the rest of your life, Capricorn, because when you guys are having such a prophetic transit in your third house and your sixth house with the ruling planet of Mercury being where both Mars and Jupiter are at, it's just saying in your daily life you need to be planting seeds. And what that will do when you attract your romantic partner is you'll have laid a foundation for you to maintain your own life, your own schedule, your own needs. You'll be self-fulfilling and you won't be codependent. If anyone out here has struggled with codependency, raise your hand. Following our heart and intuition means that it's not that we're like blocking love or anything like that. It's just that we have safeguards to keep us out of a toxic cycle of giving our power away to people, places, and things that may just be here for a good time, not a long time, for a reason, a season, and not a lifetime. And it will set us up for those people who are here for the lifetime. They're here to be in love with us and to encourage us and to be there to celebrate all of our wins side by side. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Do you guys see I'm like topsy-turvy today? Maybe some of you guys are feeling that way, and I don't want to absorb any energy, but I was listening to a podcast yesterday about Capricorn, and because you all have Mars in your sixth house, it's like you all do want to kind of take it easy. You might be feeling fidgety or have a desire to like go do a deep sea dive and you haven't gotten your diver certificate yet. Take it slow. Start at the local pool. Make sure that you can hold your breath underwater for like 3 minutes. And then you start out with the diving certification. And then from there you get involved with like the local aquarium. And then from there you start doing local dives. You know, it's just, I feel like water is coming up so big for you all. And maybe that's something that you guys are needing to get near the water. I'll pull one from the Healing Waters Oracle after I get a card from the angels. But for my Capricorns who are struggling at this time to have a creative output, maybe you need to make a zine or something and you need to take part photo, like get a film camera. 8 of air, another 8. So you're making decisions to, I want to affirm you, you're making decisions to not be trapped. And how do we do that? We just have to affirm, I know what the next step is. Or affirm in the comments. I will receive a gift today that moves me forward in my creative process. I love just kind of like turning an affirmation I've heard from someone else into something very, very fixed, very sturdy and stable, and that feels like it's super aligned for what the energy is. So, and you can also affirm, I am fearless in my next step. And we often gain confidence from being consistent. So it's like setting aside your time in the morning with your tea or your juice or your matcha or your coffee to have a piece of paper out and you just write a poem. Or to, if you wake up in the middle of the night like me, when I first started doing a lot of writing, I would get my phone and just write whatever I was like singing, because I would wake up with poetry and song. And I find that you guys will absolutely find more reasons to do it with Mars and Jupiter in the 6th house. And then you have Black Moon Lilith in your house of legacy, career, and the South Node. And it's basically shifting you out of all the times that you were out of integrity with where you belong. Like you were just kind of going with the flow, joining parties, people, circles that you didn't really vibe with, but you wanted to be seen. You wanted to be a part of the current. You wanted to be current. You wanted to be happening rather than allow for yourself to get to your depths. And it's okay because you had a whole bunch of like Pluto and Saturn transited your sign, excuse me. And you guys are learning to find your own niche, to be the voice in the room that makes others uncomfortable because it's so honest and powerful and truthful, and then to go create your own rooms because there's so many people who agree with you, but it's just that these other rooms are held up by people who want to keep their hands on every ounce of control that they can possibly have. Bounteous, generously given, relationships coming together. There is a hummingbird. There's some fun animal shapes in here. I see like some sort of unicorn. So do what you can to just celebrate the bounty in your daily life. Jupiter is in your 6th house. So your daily life, if you are feeling really generous, just make sure that you share with other people, because you could decide, hey, I want to just eat a lot of food every day, and then be like, what's going on here? My clothes are not fitting the same way. And for those of my Capricorns who are going through that, be a little bit more generous with your time that you give yourself to get your steps in. And then you can reward yourself with your favorite mint chocolate chip cookie or whatever it is that you love. Capricorn, this is your love reading for the week. I love you all so much, and I will see you all in our next reading. Aloha.